Hello, welcome to the show. We're doing our usual Yema tries to pin the comment. And she does not succeed. I'm gonna get this one of these days, guys. Welcome in all of my replay viewers. I just tried to pin the comment again and it is not working. So here we are. So what I'm attempting to do right now is I'm gonna see if I can, like, I got my old phone and I'm trying to see if I can pin that comment. I guess since I'm not on this thing, it's not gonna work. That's all right. We're gonna get it together. I promise one of these days I will pin that comment and it'll be awesome. But welcome, thank you so much for joining the Good Sex Talk Show. I come on a little early to give everyone a chance to join. Please put down in the comment, please put your name and where you're from. I would love to welcome you to the show. All right, I had my glasses on yesterday because they told me to wear for like a day or two, which I guess today will be the second day, but it's all the way across the room. And I cannot get it. I don't understand this. All right, well, without me breaking my phone, I guess I won't. But hello. Welcome to the Good Sex Talk Show with me, Coach Yema. I'm here to close the gap for you between your sexuality and your spirituality to let you know that they are two sides of the very same coin. I am also the author. It's kind of weird now because I just looked down and saw myself on the screen. I am also the author of the book, Good Sex for Single Women. You are single if you are unmarried, okay? I don't care if you got a boo, a little side thing, or you living in with somebody. If there is no ring on your finger, sister, you are unmarried. So this book is for you if you've been feeling downtrodden, full of guilt, shame, condemnation about your sexuality and your sexual experiences and your sexual history, and you need some help, you need some rescue, you need someone to come along and be like, I know what you are going through. I'm still working through some things and I'm here to share my stories with you so that we can get free and whole together. If that is something that you want to feel liberated and set free in your sexuality, go ahead and pick this beautiful gem up. Every time I pick it up and read, I'm always like very surprised. Like, I cannot believe, let me brag on myself for a little bit. Like, I cannot believe I wrote this book, but here's the thing, right? So when you write a book, for those of you who want to write a book, I also coach people on the side. I don't all the time say it, but if you're interested in writing the book, I can help you within 30 days to get your book, your first copy written down. So when you write the book, it's like your raw emotions, you're speaking the way that you would normally speak. And then you get an editor that makes you sound really, really good. And my editor, her name is Sylvia Wells, helped me sound really, really good in this book. And when I read it, I'm like, dang, girl, you was killing it. So if you want a copy of that, it is on Amazon. If you put in Good Sex and put my first name, Yema, it's such a unique name. You're gonna find me and you're gonna find the book to get it. If you would like a personalized book signed by me, send me a direct message and we can set that up and I will mail you a copy personally with my signature and a note to you that I feel God is saying to you prophetically. I also have a prophetic gifting, so that always works out really nicely. Rules of engagement for the show. So tonight we're gonna be talking about our relationship with our bodies. Rules of engagement. I would love for you to join me. If you want to join me on the live chat right now, you can go ahead. There is a green button right here with a little man, a little picture. You hit that button and I'll bring you on live so you can answer questions if you agree with me, if you don't. If you have a story to share that you know is going to be impactful for the women who are watching this, please do that. Also, please like, comment, engage with me and then share this video because I want other women to join the conversation with us. So please, please, please do that. All right, so what else? Rules of engagement, did the introduction, talked about the book, and now we're gonna get into our topic. The strange thing is, I always feel like an hour is gonna be super long, but then once we start talking, it goes longer. I try to make it not go longer, but it feels like it's not enough time to talk about what we want to talk about. And tonight is going to be so juicy and delectable. I love this hour. I look forward to coming and chatting with you guys. It is my heart. And I love the responses that I'm getting. A lot of people are sending me private messages because they don't want to share live what we're talking about and are kind of maybe a little embarrassed about it or shy or don't want people in their business, especially with the topic, right? We're talking about sex. So, but hopefully today we can have the conversation and I want you to feel free, feel safe to have this conversation and talk with me. I want to hear what you have to say. All right, let's get into it. I'm so excited. Okay, so it's gonna be really weird. I may have to turn this off because I can see myself, but it's like really strange. Okay, so let's get talking today. So today we are talking about our relationship as women with our bodies. And I put the comment in on the description to say, who taught you how to not love your body? We are talking this whole week about snatching back our pleasure, snatching back the beautiful idea that God had when he created us, especially with giving us a clitoris, right? Giving us a clit to let us know that, hey, I'm all about your pleasure. I'm all about you exploring and being passionate and all of those different things. And so pleasure, when we hear people talk about pleasure, we automatically usually think about sex, but pleasure expands way beyond that, okay? So I can experience pleasure when I'm having a good meal. Like for me, I absolutely love seafood boils. If you have not watched a seafood boil, there's a lady named B, the letter B, Love Life, and she is fantastic. I don't know why I enjoy. So here's here's a little thing about me that may be a little weird. So when this whole ASMR thing came out, if you're not aware of it, look it up. It's like a long thing that talks about how people are like soothed by listening to certain sounds. And so part of the ASMR thing came the mukbangs, and where people sit down in front of a camera and they just eat. And so I love watching people eat. It is a thing for me. It is so strange. If you have any weird quirks like that, I don't know if it's weird because this lady gets like 4 million views, so it's not only me. But in my circle, I have found that it is usually only me. But I get people like hooked onto it. Hey, Lorraine, thank you for watching. I usually get people hooked onto it. So I get pleasure, and I love watching people eat. So this lady is amazing, and she makes the best seafood boils, and I've made her sauce numerous times. I'm sure I haven't gotten exactly to how she makes it, but I love that. I gain pleasure from that, and I'm not ashamed to say it. So I'm hoping by saying something really weird and quirky about me that you guys will get comfortable about really thinking about the other areas in your life that you derive pleasure from. That's not necessarily a sexual thing, right? Another area you can derive pleasure from is from the things that you put on your body, like you wear. Like certain fabrics feel amazing on the skin, or not having any fabric on feels amazing. Part of me exploring and expressing my sexuality and my passion for myself and loving myself and snatching back my pleasure is that I like to go around in my home without clothes. Right? And so I enjoy the aspect of being, I like to go back to the garden, right? Sin made us wear clothes. So I like to go back to the garden, to the original design, and I walk around and I just love myself walking around my home. I don't live with anybody, so I'm not like trying to dodge somebody from like seeing me. The curtains are closed, blinds are shut, and I walk around, and that's part of me just being comfortable in my skin. There are certain fabrics that I wear that are very comfortable for me that I enjoy wearing. So that's another way of pleasure. So we have food, we have the things that you put on your body. Some people love being active and they gain pleasure from that. And so when we're talking about snatching back our pleasure, I'm not necessarily only talking about sexual pleasure, okay? That is a part of what we're going to be talking about and what we talked about yesterday. If you didn't watch that, go back and watch it when the show is done. But that is part of what we're going to be talking about and what we have talked about. But it's not the only thing. So when I say snatch back your pleasure, there are things as a woman that you have been told it's not okay for you to do. And my entire life and love is to give you permission. Yesterday we talked about giving you permission to pursue your pleasure. And I qualify that for the younger audience that may be watching, and what I meant by that, not this reckless abandon to just pursue pleasure that could hurt you, right? That could abuse your body, where you're abusing substances or your self-worth or your conscience or other people. That is not what I mean. The pleasure that is full of light and love is the pleasure I'm talking about, okay? So pursuing your pleasure, snatching it back, and a huge hindrance for women. I don't know about men. I'm sure they deal with certain, certainly some type of body issues, maybe like man boobs and like a beer gut or whatever the case may be. I'm not talking about them. This is a female show. I realized, little quick thing, yesterday, my viewers were mostly male yesterday, especially the ones who were responding and liking and loving the comments and all that were males and not males that I know personally. So that was really interesting for me to see. So all the men watching, thanks for joining. Share with your sisters, your cousins, your mama, your aunties, your girlfriends, your side pieces. So share that with them. But women, there is a huge hindrance for us when it comes to deriving pleasure and loving. Hey, Lillian, thank you for joining. And loving our bodies. There is we stand in the mirror and we are constantly looking for things that are not right. For me personally, growing up as an African woman, I'm very slim and I don't have the va-va-voom. I don't have the Coke shaped body. Now my mama has it. How are you doing today, girl? Thank you for joining. My mama has the typical African woman's body, and for me, growing up, that was really, really hard. I have literally no hips, and I'm straight down. And so when you see me, it's just people are are you sure you're African? Which is really insulting, by the way, but that's another conversation. But I struggled and had a lot of negative body image issues growing up. And it took a long time for me to just accept the fact that this is who I am. I am a slim body woman. I'm telling you guys, I have tried to eat and I eat a lot. Not so much more because now I've accepted I'm slim and I've accepted my body type. Because I can eat more than anybody else and I will not gain a pound. So here's the truth about me. Since I was 13, I have weighed 120 pounds. I'm 34 now. I still weigh 120 pounds. Jesus. Working, I don't know what to do. I cannot gain weight. I don't care what happens. And then growing up, my family oh, don't worry about it. Once you get pregnant and have a child, you'll gain your weight. And I'm I don't think so. Because I see women who are like me and they had, I saw a girl yesterday at the 7-Eleven, right? She was skinnier than I am and had a full grown baby and had not looked like she had not gained a pound. She must have just been all belly. So that was, I had a little bit of hope. But now, in my 30s, I'm that's not going to happen. I am who I am and I've accepted it. But going through that growing up, especially when it came to puberty and all of that, and everybody was filling out and all these different things. And I got breasts, but I never got a butt or hips or anything, and my breasts are not, I'm a 34B. So I haven't filled out, I haven't had any of those things. So I have dealt with body image issues, and I know most of the time the body image issue conversations is geared towards our thicker sisters, and it's not so much for the skinny girls. I see, that's what they tell me, but that's not true. Lillian, I don't believe that. I literally do not believe that. I believe, and who knows, maybe I'll be having a baby soon. I don't know. Please, I'm not saying I'm out here trying to get pregnant at all. But in the near future, I could get pregnant and we're going to have to see about it. Thank you. See, that's what we need. The sister love. Lillian says, girl, your body's beautiful. Thank you so much. I have owned it now. It is mine. But I was saying, like, the conversation about body image issues are usually geared toward thicker women, bigger girls, and not so much to skinny girls. And it's almost been, so here's a skinny girl rant. Rant, go. Most of the time it's socially acceptable for people to walk up to somebody like me who's slim and be like, you're so skinny, right? And that's not okay. Because it would never be okay for me to walk up to a bigger woman and say, you're so fat. But it's like this acceptable thing that you can come, see, you're still 123 pounds. Now, see, I'm not going to gain no weight, Lily. See, now you're just proving my point. Okay. And people for skinny girls can come and say whatever and make comments about my body and say those things. Like, for whatever reason, there is no boundary when it comes to people saying things to smaller women. Like, you can say whatever. Like, Monique, the comedian, wrote a book like, I hate skinny girls. And like, there's rap songs like, if she don't got a butt, she ain't nobody. Like, all of this stuff that is spoken. Skinny girls do rock. Yes, Lillian. Skinny girls do rock. We do matter, okay? People say this stuff in the music videos, and it's kind of like supposed to be like a hoorah for bigger girls who are filled out and very voluptuous. And it's like, yes, we're for them. But I can be, thank you. How old do I look, girl? People, tell me how old I look. A hoorah for the big girls. And then people are like, I can be for thicker women and not be against skinnier women. Like, most of the time you don't hear this conversation happening because skinny girls don't talk about it because we're like expected to just accept it. Like, oh, well, everybody wants to be like me, so it's like not my fault. If they want to talk about it, if that's empowering for them, let it be empowering for them. You thought see, that's what I usually get. Hey, Sylvia, show my dress. The camera's like sitting full on, but I can stand up a little bit. It's like a one thing. Sylvia. Oh, I did not realize that was not Sylvia. I did not mean to do that for who that person was. Hey, Shiva. I don't know where you coming from, Shiva. I didn't even think about that. I was thinking it was Sylvia. That's Shiva. See, now I had some off the wall comments yesterday on the video about people saying different things. Shivia, if you want to be a part of the conversation, I would love you to, but please keep your comments respectful, okay? Or you will get blocked, but thank you. So what was I at? Thank you, Lilium. You thought I was 27. I usually get that, like 27, 28. I'm going to receive it because my aunts are like in their 60s and they legit still look like me, and I love it. And their skin are flawless, okay? I love that. But I can be a skinny woman and go into society and people think that there is no boundary in what they say to me. Right? They think they're complimenting me, and it's not a compliment. I don't want you. And here's a body image. Like, who taught you not to love yourself? It comes from the opinions of other people making comments about your body that are not nice comments, that they think is a compliment, or they think like you should be concerned about it. And so they volunteer their opinions about your body, especially as women. Like, men, you don't usually see like people going up to a man like, man, your stomach is really big, or oh my gosh, you have man boobs, right? But for women, the comments about our bodies are so, and it comes from other women mostly. I've never had a man come up to me just randomly and make a comment about my body like women do to me. When am I planning? Okay, so the conversation's going a different way. When Lillian says, when am I planning on having a baby? Because I want this show to be completely transparent and fun and not like weird about stuff, and I do have boundaries. But that question isn't personal to me. It doesn't feel like too invasive. I'm 34, and I was tempted maybe about a year ago to start like thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm getting older. Maybe I should like look to settle down and have a baby. And that was like a legit thought and for a desire for like a month. And then what happened that I moved beyond that was like, I have so much to do in my life, and I'm not just going to go have a baby. I know people who have, especially in the African community, because there's so much pressure on women having children. and that somehow like validates you again. Like marriage validates you, having a baby validates you as a woman. Especially for me, my mom only had one child, and that's me. I had a dog, I had to rehome him, so that wasn't working for me. Unfortunately, I loved him, but we just were not a good match. Being an only child for my mom, there was a little bit of pressure. I wouldn't say she put pressure on me, but she definitely started like asking questions. And I totally like rejected it and like put a line and was like, look, like if you and your friends are running a competition about whose daughter is having kids and all this other stuff in marriage, I'm not going to be a part of that. That's not who I am. I'm very good at setting boundaries in my life when people start to put expectations on me, because I don't want your thoughts in my head. I don't want your expectations and your judgment in my head. And so if it's happening, and even if I have to like go back and think about it and come back to you and say, look, what you said to me was not okay, and say out my mouth what my boundary is, I would do that. And so my mom like mentioned something to me, and I out of my mouth was just like, look, like that is not an expectation of having children, of being married that I want. Like, oh, you're getting older, maybe you should start thinking about this. I'm not going to start thinking about anything. Like, it happened for a month and I moved on because I have a lot. I will plan on doing that. I'm not going to make any promises. I would definitely like to join you guys in Denver to celebrate July 26th. But I'm not going to take that on. If it happens, it happens. I'm not like worried about not having children. For a very long time, I didn't want any children. God like gave me that desire when I was like 26 and gave me a vision of my family. And I had like a little daughter in the vision, but it's not something that I am actively pursuing in the least bit. I'm more passionate and find and derive pleasure in my purpose and doing what I'm doing with you guys right now. So that's my baby. You guys are my babies. Like, this whole situation is me birthing what God's called me to. So that is a major part of it. So I hope that answered your question. If you have any more, please feel free to ask me. If there are women on here who are older or around my age and you're starting to feel that pressure, go ahead and ask me too. And I was saying in the African community, I know women who have just gone out and like trapped a guy and gotten pregnant because they were like getting close to 40 and like had a baby just because, and I know multiple women that have done this, just have gone out and had a baby, and now like it wasn't a relationship that was stable, but there was all this pressure on them for wanting to have a baby. And not even personally, there is an actress, Yvonne Nelson, who like had a baby because she like really wanted to, and she's still with the guy, but like it was like this thing. There is the very popular Nigerian blogger, Laura EKG, I think is how you say her name. She is like went out and had her baby because she really wanted to, and she's not with the guy. And so there's this pressure, and I think about what happens to those children. Like, you're just going out having babies because of this selfish desire that you have. It's very selfish to me when people do that. If it comes to a point that I have to have a kid, I'll go ahead and adopt. If I physically can no longer have children, there's so many children lost in this world right now that need love. It's very selfish of us. And I know for men specifically, they want to have like their seed and their legacy in the earth and all of this different stuff. Yeah, that's African parents. They want to like have their legacy and all this stuff in the world. And it's just like, it's very selfish. You can go adopt a child and pour into them and do all of that and not have it be like, I have to personally have a baby. So back to the body image situations. They do pressure you, and that is so wrong, because like what happens to those children? Like, I just had you because somebody pressured me to have you. It wasn't like out of love. Like, my ideal situation to have a child is obviously I want to be married, I want to be settled, I want to have a home, I want to be financially able to give my child the best of the best and expose them to the world. Like, I want to travel with them, I want to show them all these different things before like I want to think about those things before I bring a child into the world. Like, I had my puppy here, and it was madly, insanely inconvenient for me to have him here and pursue the things I wanted to pursue. So like, I know for me, I definitely cannot be a single mom. Like, I don't know how single mothers do it. Big ups to you to all the single moms, but I am not a single mom material. I'm not strong enough. I'm just not. And I'm okay with that. I'm going to need someone who's going to be like waking up in the morning, middle of the night with me, who's going to be home when I need to go somewhere. I'm going to need help, okay? And help from the person who helped me make the baby. And we in this thing for a lifetime, okay? So we clinked, locked down together, doing it together. I'm not doing it alone, okay? So body image issues. I did take some notes here for what I wanted us to talk about. So when it comes to, for example, how you feel and love the skin that you're in, the first thing that we as women find it very difficult to do, the first place is our face, or where we start to judge ourselves because we don't look like what the magazines look like. There was a magazine that did a study, I think it might have been Time magazine a couple of years ago, did a study and was like, this is the type of face that is most attractive, or these are the most attractive women in the world, and they did not look like me. And how damaging is that message that they put out there? It was like Time, it had to be like Time magazine that put this article out, like, this is what beauty looks like. How dare you tell anybody? And you know, kids take that in, and even as people our age or older, maybe not older, but like younger than me, definitely take that in and look at themselves in the mirror and say, well, this is not beautiful. And so we get into the whole plastic surgery where you're snatching this and pulling this, and this has to get lifted up, and this has to get like this, and all these different things that we do because someone from the outside told us that what this looks like in the mirror is not beautiful, okay? Beauty is definitely within. So, and I was just having this conversation with a friend today, like, I don't care how attractive I may find you. If your ways are ugly, you are ugly. Like, if who you are on the inside, that's true where true beauty is, and Lillian's absolutely right. True beauty is on the inside. And so if you're ugly on the inside, you have very ugly ways and ugly behavior towards other people, and just the way you carry yourself, like, you're not cute to me. You're no longer attractive. Like, you may be physically attractive, but as a whole, your beauty, I don't see it, right? You gotta get that together. Like, how you treat people makes you beautiful, and if you're treating them bad, you're not beautiful. And so, women, for your face, then we go into the conversation about like makeup. Obviously, I love wearing makeup, okay? I am an artist. I love putting it on. I love trying new things. But there is no sense in me that this is what makes me beautiful. Like, this is not what makes me beautiful. I've owned that, and I had a beautiful conversation with God, and where he just spoke to me about my face, right? Like, I made your eyes this way because I love your eyes. I love your smile. I love your nose. I love your ears. When I was growing up, this was like a big thing. Like, people call me rabbit ears and would tease me. They even had a song for me, child. Like, people are so cruel. And it wasn't like, it wasn't the kids. It was my family. Like, had, songs for my big ears, and for the longest time, like, I would be shamed. I would like cover them and not want people to see them. It was like this terrible thing about my body that I couldn't love because other people didn't love it on me. Now I don't care. I accept, like, I have big ears. It's cool. I may cover them sometimes, but it's not because I'm self-conscious about what people may think about them. It's just because whatever look I'm wearing, if it needs to be covered, it needs to be covered. It's not a thing for me. My big lips, right? I have big lips in certain society expectations. Like, that's a good thing. In other society, it's not a good thing. See, now you're going to start teasing me. Now, why I had to tell you that? Now you're going to start teasing me. Not fair. What is something, Lillian, that people teased you about? Let's talk about that. Let's bring our stuff out. Thank you, girl. And another thing that I see a lot of women struggle with is the shape of their breast. That may sound a little strange, but it's not actually. A lot of women, and if you haven't seen, because this has been happening, there have been posts, like, if you follow, like, I follow like feminists and all those different things, people, you're short, that has to be a thing. There was a short guy recently on social media, like went off because people, this like short guy, white guy, like went off. Let's see. Audrey says, and you have big eyes. I love your eyes, Lillian. Let's see. Audrey says, people can have moments, realize their errors in the way, and they've treated others in the moment and can change. They should get another chance. Absolutely. I mean, people should be giving chances to people, and give people room to grow and be in the process of becoming, and that's okay. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But like, if you are just a mean person, but you think like you're so beautiful that your meanness covers your beauty, physical beauty covers your meanness, like you got to get that checked. So the shape of your breast, so I follow these accounts especially on Instagram, mostly on Instagram, where they will post like the different sizes and different shapes of the different shapes of breasts, so women can be okay with their size and their shape of their breasts. Like, it's a thing, because when you watch porn or you see women get naked and all the breast implants, you don't know that they're breast implants, and everyone's like perfectly perky and all this other stuff, it can be a source of pain for women when they go in the mirror and they look at their breast, and maybe they have children and they have stretch marks, and we don't get to see women breast put out there in the natural way that women's body changes as they grow older. Hey Faith, thanks for watching. We don't get to appreciate and celebrate that as a woman, when you have breasts and you have children and you have those kids and you breastfeed them, like the shape and the size and the firmness of your breast is going to change. And if your partner or even yourself, because of what you've seen, are not able to love the process of you becoming a mother, which not just includes you having